What's up, y'all? It's me, Dutchi. I'm here. It's been a minute, but I had to do this. So this episode will probably be a bit therapeutic. Notice I'm not in my regular studio, but it's all good. So I just got some things I want to say. I'm probably going to be really just reading. Went ahead and did a journal, but I miss you guys, and it's definitely time for me to you know what I'm saying, give you what you need. And go from there, you know what I mean? So hopefully, hopefully this is helpful for you. I know it should be for me. But I got a couple of things that I want to share. So hopefully, like I said, this is helpful. This is episode 35, and I entitled it, I think I entitled it Let It Go. So, so I know I've talked to you guys a lot about me dealing with anxiety and stuff in the past, and still dealing with it and trying to just navigate with that. And it would sometimes seem like it's not a real thing or like I got it going on. But I think oftentimes I'm just so busy that it's, you know what I'm saying, it's manageable. So I definitely think that being busy and having a schedule is helpful. But, there's still things like underlying things or issues that you got to make sure you're taking care of. So, you know what I'm saying, like I'm a big proponent of health and wellness, and come from a family of nurses. Mom's a nurse, sister a nurse, aunts were nurses. So healthcare is important. Dad used to be very into like nutrition and fitness and all that good stuff. So I'm with all that. But basically, I think in that sometimes we get caught up in the physical health and we don't talk as much about our emotional health, or we don't talk about our financial health, our social health. And so all those things play a big impact on one another, and are very important. And so, you gotta pay attention to all of them. And so I just got a couple of things I want to say. And I want to put out there. So really, I guess I'm gonna just get to it. So basically what I did, was I wrote myself a letter. A friend of mine was like, yo, you should just write yourself something. I'm like, okay. Cause like, I'm a big fixer kind of person. And like, I feel like, if there's a problem, like I can fix it. It's why I pledge the sorority that I pledge, because I'm all about change. I'm all about making things happen, making things better, especially when it relates to the community or relates to like whatever people I'm around, and I like to fix things through laughter, through conversation, sometimes through debate, and sometimes that's just a matter of me trying to understand and want people to be expressive and for them to share who they are, and so I can get a feeling of who they are. And sometimes you don't get that when you're just dealing with the surface people and dealing with their super ego and how they think they should respond and how they think they need to behave and interact, and so you don't get that real person. And so I like to deal with real people and understand their heart and their intent and what makes them tick, because then it's like I can know how to deal with you, I can know how to handle you, I can have your back, you know what I'm saying? And I can make sure that the, maybe things that I do or whatever, or things that other people do to you, I can support you in those moments. And then also, can also figure out what I've done wrong or how to fix those and make those type of amends. So, so basically your girl gets real frustrated when I can't figure something out, can't solve it. And, sometimes I think when we are problem solvers and we're juggling a bunch of things and solving a bunch of problems, we tend to we tend to either neglect certain things, or we tend to like think that like things are good because like maybe a lot of other things are resolved and good, and or we get fixated on and get in a tunnel vision mindset that, well, these things are going well, or I think that I'm being supportive in this kind of way, and maybe that doesn't work for the situation or for the person or for people you're dealing with. It may be what you think is ideal, but it may not really be what is needed. So yeah, so basically, you know what I'm saying, like I feel pretty much in the dumps, but I might look better than I feel. Got my little light on. This is actually one of those little lights. It's can't tell you the name of it right now, but it's from Amazon. Basically, it's a light to help you like I guess get that sunlight and stuff like when you're inside. It's supposed to help with like depression and stuff and like that. So I don't know, you know, I'm a person, I don't really care for a lot of the big lights on all the time in my office, so I might put on like something low like this, and people are like, yo, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing, I'm good. So I prefer natural light, so this is kind of like how I deal with that. But plus also I see it makes a pretty good camera light. But anyways, I'm just gonna get to it. Hopefully I can read all this to you. I just went in and my hand is like cramping from writing so much, but you know what I'm saying, take it as you may. And you know what I'm saying, thanks again for listening. I know some of you guys will hear this later, and I know normally, you know, the show, like I'm at episode 35 and I've been going for a minute, and so it's time to just kind of rededicate things and retune and refine, because there's so much I want to do, there's so much I want to create, there's so much I want to help you guys with, and I want you to help me make that happen. So if you're not doing it already, just make sure you follow Dream Deferred Pod. That's on IG, and you can follow on Facebook, Spreaker.com. But I think that the podcast is located pretty much on every podcast format right now. So from Spotify to YouTube, like I said, Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio. It's pretty much everywhere, which is kind of crazy, but kind of cool. So this is definitely a free platform. Probably thinking about starting another show as well. And let me know if, you know, you guys got any questions. You can definitely reach me at my email, and I believe that's streamdeferredpod@gmail.com. And again, I'm your host, Danny Dutchi, so let's get to it. So, yeah, it's episode 35. So if you are just tuning in for the first time, the show Dream Deferred is about just like my decision to kind of share things that I've gone through in my life events and lessons that I've learned. So that's that. So I wrote myself a letter. So this is my letter. And I may leave out some parts, or you may hear uhs or ums, because I am trying to read all of this shit that I wrote. Like, this is crazy, right? That's a lot. And it might not look like a lot, but I write really small. So, yeah. I really like this pen. It's a fine point. But anyways, that's enough chatter. All right. Dutchi, I know you are in a tough place. Nothing seems to be coming together. You want to feel complete, but are stuck feeling so empty. It almost seems like you're at loss, have been abandoned by your rock, the person who trusted to love you whole, to be there for you. And maybe you feel as if you have failed her. She completed and supported you in ways you didn't think were possible. If only she could have given you a warning or a chance. I'm sure you feel helpless and hopeless. You feel like maybe this is karma getting back at you. I remember when you left your loved one for a break because you felt you needed to be better. I'm not sure if this is the same or something different. You have so many emotions inside, some like rage, anger, sadness, confusion, loneliness, and you feel out of control. You are ruminating, trying to endlessly and probably impossibly figure out why this happened and what would have, could have, should have, would have. The truth is, there is no absolute truth. None is fair in love, only feelings. Feelings can be right, but see, I told y'all. But tend to call wrong, something like that. I don't know. Just remember, the more you try to push and understand, the more you try and fix, the more you try and decompose and break down, will not resolve anything. I know you believe Ecclesiastes 3, especially how everything happens for a reason. I know you, I know you believe nothing gold can stay, and I know you want to live and to be, I know you want to love and be loved, but you want it whole, authentic, loyal, responsible, trustworthy, and relentless, non-conditional, right? Unconditional love. You are capable and were designed for it. I know you will see the light in hindsight. I know the Lessons were there when you tore your Achilles, the pain, the handicap, stillness, isolation, etc. all taught you something. So much now, and so much new and renewal was born. You learned about you. You saw yourself in a creative light. You have been stagnant as the creative God you are. The Lord made you to conquer. Until you conquer yourself, you will not conquer all He has in store for your life. Do not give up or give in. You know, sorry, or give in. You know this is not the end. We don't know what tomorrow brings, and must man must prepare for it today. Yesterday is only our teacher today for is only our teacher for today and study guide for the future. I like that, y'all. Write that down. Our actions are choices. When we choose to move with little thought, care, or compassion, we make mistakes. But in the end, we still make a choice, either consciously or subconsciously. You have some choices to make in the near future, starting today, starting right now. You choose to let me write you this letter, Dutchi. And I think that was a great start. Don't let this end here. Don't let your most powerful gift, your mind, get the best of you. Don't think this is the end or you are unworthy. It very well may not be, or it may very well be just that. It is what it is, whatever that is. Well, just be that. I'm sorry. Even having a psychology, mental health, and master resilience background can't absorb you from the feelings. Only love, good friends, tapping into your skills like journaling, praying, meditating, creating, exercise, and so on can help you through. God always has a plan. A parent reminded you of this a few days ago. If it is time, the strength, man, in us being still and quiet enough to see it and hear it. The strength is in us being still and quiet enough to see it, which is so hard for me, yo. We get so lost in ourselves, our lives, our hurt, our wins, and lose sight of the big picture. So those lessons we learned and tools we have in our resource kit gather dust until we experience tragedy. Like, appreciate it. Let's see. In our cool kit, dust until we experience tragedy. Like, situations are blown out of proportion. All our progress goes out the window, and we are back in our sunken place, tethered to our old evil selves. I know y'all got that reference. I love Jordan Peele, amazing stuff. Like, yeah, I don't even think I got to tell y'all like about how I was like binging these soundtracks for Get Out and for Us, like amazing stuff. And shout out and kudos to him as a filmmaker and a black man or man of color to look for a man of color or just a person of color to compose the soundtrack for his albums. He used the same guy. I want to say his name is Michael Abrams. I might be saying the wrong name, but he's phenomenal. Just trained classically, came up in the music, and like I think that's outstanding. And we got to do more of that, like just making sure that we preserve and create spaces for our own to be able to thrive and do what they want to do, because if we don't make the spaces for us, then who will? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, so yeah, that's the tethering to our evil selves. Let's see, not living, just existing, living on ego and abandoning the id and superego. Underneath there is your unconscious, this desire to be reckless. You undoubtedly want to act out violently. You want to cause some pain somewhere, somehow, but in reality, through your ego, you would do so much. You would do so more rationally. You will use your preconscious to judge your feelings and think through what makes sense. You are planning and strategizing. Maybe this is more of a reason. Of the voice of reason, like God who understands words, but who